Hello all. I thought I'd send you a quick notice update and show you the outside of the church to see how the garden's getting on. Somebody's been and cut the grass, so it looks rather beautiful at the moment. So there are a few things I want to give you an update on. One is about the food bank. I know I keep going on about the food bank, but I'm constantly impressed by your generosity and your kindness. The food bank started in normal times to have a regular pattern of about 20 people who needed it every week. Different mix of people, different variety of families and individuals. That's gone up to, well, last week we fed nearly 100 adults and well over 80 children. For obvious reasons, as you can imagine. But every time the need increases, the generosity increases too. We have phenomenal volunteers who go into supermarkets like a herd of locusts and strip everything of their coffee and tea and cereal and jam and bread and whatever we need. We have very, very generous donations so that we're still secure for a few weeks ahead, even though the numbers keep rising. So thank you for your generosity. We'll need to keep going in the weeks to come, but I have every doubt, I have no doubt, I have no doubt that we will match whatever the need is, because we have people who love their neighbour. So thank you. As I hope I've shown you, it's not too difficult to do videos like this if you've got a smartphone. And there is a video online which shows you how to upload your videos in the Holy YouTube channel. It would be lovely to see some more familiar faces. If you can't send a video, send a picture and we can upload them. It means so much. If you write something, if you send an email with a picture and write it, I can put it on a subtitle and put it into a YouTube video. But we really need to see each other's faces. You know, landscapes are beautiful, churches are beautiful, but you're beautiful too. So please send in as much as you can, just a way of saying hi to the rest of us. You know, we are so lucky to live where we do in this beautiful part of the world. One of the highlights for Holy Week for me was getting a chance to sit out here very early in the morning and talk and pray, surrounded by birdsong. And I'm going to do a few more of those. One of the things I've been wanting to do recently is to revisit the Soulfulness sessions that we had, if you remember. Which Soulfulness is a way of talking about mindfulness using the insights from Christian tradition. Really, a lot of mindfulness comes from the Christian tradition, so it's a very big overlap. But it particularly focuses on staying in the present moment, because if the present moment is okay, we should acknowledge that and be thankful for it and bless it, and that can help reduce anxiety. So I'm going to put some of those sessions on. If there's one thing I've learned about recording videos, it's that it takes far longer than I hope. So they may not be every week, but I'm hoping that they'll be on a regular basis, something that we can all tap into. Similarly, I wanted to put up some prayers. For some reason, it doesn't quite work on a screen, praying together. So what I'd hoped, and what I will still encourage you to do, is to send in your favourite prayers. Again, ideally, you can send it in using a video link. If not, just send the prayer and say why it means something to you, and we can upload that onto the YouTube channel as well. We've been encouraged by all the local churches in Scotland to pray together at 7 o'clock every day. So we'll try and upload a prayer every day at 7 o'clock. Other times are also available. You know, this is my favourite place to look at the church from, just underneath this rather beautiful blossom at the moment. I don't know if you can see that, but it's quite a view of quite a church. So we're going to have to do everything online normally, because we got no building that's open at the moment. So one of the suggestions that somebody had was to meet for afternoon tea on Zoom. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Zoom, but we'll all be getting familiar with it soon. But if somebody's technologically minded enough to host that, that would be really helpful. And we could at least see each other and have a cup of tea together. Not in real life, but we could see each other's kitchens, which is always interesting. There is one other issue which I've been asked to mention, which is about the church finances. Now, obviously, without a plate for people to put money on, there isn't any money coming through the plate. So there will be a point in the future where we have to think a bit about the finances of the church and how to go forward. But we're doing all right. We'll be fine. There's no urgency. I know there are a huge number of charities who are asking for help at this point, and they all do good work. So I don't want to add to that burden. But that's just a sort of a long shot. But there is one thing that John Barney, the treasurer, has asked me to speak about, which is the Smarty tubes. If you remember, we collect the Smarty tubes that you put money in, and obviously that hasn't happened. So if you have any of those empty Smarty tubes full of money, if you pardon the paradox, and are able to either hand them into the porch or contact John Barney so he can pick them up, that would be great. But if you do online banking and you would rather do it that way, if you just picture the amount of money you would normally put into a Smarty tube, just try and picture the average Smarty tube and imagine how much money you could put into it. Just picture it in your mind, the average Smarty tube, and donate that much. That'd be great. See you soon.